Hey everyone, welcome to GardenFork. Today, double chocolate cake, the simplest one ever.
Wait, I thought you already made a simple chocolate cake.
We for Valentine's Day we made a really simple chocolate cake. I got a bunch of great input from people about how to add to the cake, and so we're going to show you the super double chocolate simple cake today.
Because your Valentine is pretty simple and other people's Valentines are pretty complicated.
Yeah. You're so excited.
What's the matter, Hen?
Something bothering Harry.
Is it that?
Alright, again, super simple cake. You mix it in the pan, you bake it in the pan, you serve it from the pan. What we're going to add is some extra chocolatiness and some icing to it. And those were both suggested by people leaving comments on the original super simple chocolate cake video. There's a link to that chocolate cake video right below here in the show notes as well, right?
What's the difference between icing and frosting?
I think icing is more generic and frosting is kind of whipped and aerated. You know, there's glaze, icing, and frosting, and I think icing is kind of a generic term.
It's frosting outside.
Yeah, it's cold outside. 8x8 or 9x9 pan.
If you love your Valentine, it could be 12 by 12.
Yeah, you can double this recipe and put it in 9x13, by the way. First, preheat your oven. You want to preheat your oven to 350. I want a cup and a half of all-purpose flour.
Do you have a cup and a half?
I do. One. Look, I'm all prepared. It's like a cooking show. What I forgot last time was the cocoa.
You forgot the cocoa?
Remember in the original show I had everything in here and I forgot to put the chocolate in?
Yeah, it's coming back to me.
Oh, I forgot the most important thing. 3 tablespoons cocoa. 1 cup of sugar. Okay, that's almost 1 cup.
How many lumps?
There are some lumps. Okay, that's about a cup. I wrote it all down this time. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Again, all in the pan. The pan is not greased either, by the way.
All in the pan and on the shirt.
It's wicked simple. Oh. This is a great cake again for your children to make. This is the first cake I ever learned to make, and I was hooked on baking and cooking ever since.
It's all about the cake.
I love cake.
He really does.
Henry, get the ball, Henry. Neat, huh? 3/4 of a cup of water and 3/4 of a cup of oil.
It's already pre-separated.
Yeah, I kind of mixed. I thought it would look cool for the show, so it did. All right. So I make a little hole in here.
A well.
A well, and I put that in there.
So it's okay if it like goes way beyond the well?
Yeah, that happens. A little vanilla.
A lot of vanilla.
A tablespoon of white vinegar. Again, we talked about this in the original video, which the link is below. But the leavener is the vinegar interacting with the baking soda.
What do you mean by the leavener?
The leavener is in baking is what is going to make the cake or the bread rise. It's something that usually creates some sort of carbon dioxide bubbles. It can be baking powder, baking soda with an acid. Baking powder is actually a double-acting, usually, leavener, but it gives cupcakes their lift, it gives biscuits their lift, and it's called a leavener. And in this case, baking soda and vinegar, when you mix it together, it bubbles. And so in the cake, it will bubble and rise up the crumb, it's called. The cake has crumb. Remember, you preheat your oven, 350. Okay, I want to thank Snooki, who left a comment on our YouTube channel for the chocolate enhancement that we're about to do. Chocolate chips.
I think you should just let them flow.
Across the top. All right, 350 for a half an hour. Now, time to watch Labradors.
Chocolate chip issues.
We actually could have put more chocolate chips on there if you want, but pretty good, huh?
So far, so good.
Time for the chocolate frosting.
Wait,
okay?
you need frosting on top of your chocolate chips?
It's triple, let's call this the triple chocolate cake rather than the double chocolate. We'll call it triple chocolate. All right, half a stick of butter in a pan. Melt that butter down. Our icing recipe is from Grace. Snooki gave us the idea of the chocolate chips on the top. Grace gave us the recipe for the icing. All right, we're gonna melt down half a stick of butter, and we're gonna add milk and cocoa into here. 1/4 cup of milk into the melted butter. And then 2 teaspoons of cocoa.
The same kind used for the cake?
Yeah. 1, 2. Okay, mix in the milk and the cocoa. Again, you've turned the burner off. 1 cup of powdered sugar. If you don't have powdered sugar, take a cup of regular sugar and put it in the food processor and whip it around. It makes a pretty good fake powdered sugar. No, I'm serious.
We actually have the real thing.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Lumps and all.
Yeah, there's some lumps in there, but lumps happen. A teaspoon. I don't measure vanilla usually.
You don't measure, usually.
Measuring's overrated, especially with baking. Okay. This.
Just pour it over.
Yeah.
Even it out.
All right, we'll let this cool. We're gonna have some dinner. We did some short ribs in the pressure cooker, really good. And then this will be our dessert, okay?
Wow.
Don't feed your dogs chocolate. Here we go. I'm gonna go straight up without ice cream first.
High risk, isn't it? Is it warm? Are you speechless?
It tastes a little bit like chocolate molten cake. You know how chocolate molten cake is cake on the outside and kind of melty on the inside?
Yeah.
This is like melty on top. And it's really good. This is better than the straight up simple chocolate cake. And yeah, it takes a little more work. But
Yeah, I wonder why. Are you gonna make that for your next Valentine?
for you next time. Vanilla. Wow, that's really good.
There's not gonna be any left, is there?
Ice cream in the teeth.
Alright, I gotta go save my piece of Valentine cake.
Super cool here. By the way, if you like what we're doing, you want to hit the subscribe button. It's up here or down there. We put videos out every week. And sign up for our email newsletter. There's a link right below for our email newsletter as well.
We make chocolate cake every week too.
And tell your friends about the show. That's how we get the word out. You know, if you like other people want to watch me eat chocolate cake.
It's noisy.